A lawsuit in Serbia involving the Serbian police, 11 European citizens, and the Chinese regime. What are the connections? A filmmaker there tells us the story.
Serbian human rights filmmaker Dejan Markovic has been asking the same question for years. When will this case be over? 7 years later, the results were finally revealed.
The Constitutional Court ruled that the police of Serbia unconstitutionally detained practitioners during the visit of Chinese Prime Minister in Belgrade.
But what exactly happened? Back in 2014, the Chinese premier visited Serbia for a summit. A group of 11 people from other European countries planned a peaceful protest during the summit to oppose the Chinese regime's human rights abuses. But Serbian police detained them to prevent them from protesting.
And they felt like, okay, we will break the laws, but it's a small group of people. We don't care. What's important is the security of Chinese Prime Minister. We shouldn't get them angry about anything.
The summit hosted leaders from China plus 16 Central and Eastern European countries, including Serbia. During the summit, Beijing created a $3 billion investment fund.
Serbian government considered this a big opportunity to improve their image and, of course, to get investments from China. This is the first thing.
Markovic says Serbian police banned all demonstrations ahead of the summit and noted that police removed the 11 Falun Gong practitioners from their hotels after discovering their identities, all with no warrant and no reason except that they all practice Falun Gong. The police also took their phones and blocked them from calling the embassy or anyone else. Markovic says they suddenly vanished for days. Nobody knew where they were. That's even though the group had already canceled their planned activities in light of the ban on demonstrations. Anyone who was involved in Falun Gong in Serbia was put under strict surveillance. Even their family members were being watched.
I felt this is a real thriller, You come to peacefully demonstrate in a country where this was not banned.
Serbia is a post-communist country transitioning to democracy in 1992. Freedom of assembly is written into its constitution.
This is not like Serbia, it is more like China.
Among the 11 detained Falun Gong practitioners, 7 filed a group lawsuit against Serbian police. That's for violating their constitutional rights. They fought the case all the way to Serbia's constitutional court. And 7 years later, the court finally gave its verdict in May, in favor of them. According to the 2020 World Report on Human Rights, the Chinese Communist Party is becoming a global threat to human rights worldwide. Unlike other dictatorships in history or in other parts of the world, Markovic says the CCP isn't just one dictator. It's a whole party that has and will continue doing things behind the scenes without transparency.
They think that they can live forever. That's actually the biggest problem. And this is what drives them to do things as they do. And this is why they are much, much bigger threat than any kind of dictatorship throughout history.
In recent years, China's economic influence has started growing in Southeast Europe. Its $14 trillion economy and status as the world's largest commodity exporter attract many countries hungry for those resources. But sometimes they come at a heavy price.
I'm sending them the message. You cannot be a friend of Chinese Communist Party. They can only use you. In the end, they will dump you.
As China rapidly invests in Central and Eastern Europe, democracy there seems to be sliding backwards, most notably in Serbia.